There was a time not that long ago when I was spending up to $15,000 a month on inventory. It sounds wild, right? But that's how it is when you're deep into the Amazon FBA game. You go all in, you take the risk. And yet, I found myself wondering if I was actually building something stable or just throwing money into a machine I had no control over. So in this video, I want to walk you through my personal experience with Amazon FBA, eBay, Etsy, and Shopify. Not as a guru, not as someone who have cracked the code, just someone who lived it, made money, lost money, and came out the other side a little bit wiser and a little bit more tired. So let's talk about inventory and upfront cost. Let's start with the thing that nobody really emphasizes enough in those how to start an online business YouTube videos, and that is inventory risk. When I started with Amazon FBA, it was like joining a corporate boot camp. You need to buy inventory upfront, prep it like a professional warehouse worker, label every single product, and then ship it off to Amazon's fulfillment centers. If you make even a single mistake, whether it is applying the wrong label, using an incorrect box size, or missing a shipment deadline, Amazon's automated system will penalize your account with very strict consequences. Their algorithms are unforgiving, and a series of small errors can quickly snowball into serious problems for your seller metrics. At my peak with Amazon FBA, I was buying between $10,000 to $15,000 worth of inventory every single month. This meant late nights analyzing spreadsheets, figuring out what was selling, and constantly worrying about cash flow. If a shipment got delayed, or worse, if Amazon randomly flagged one of my ASINs, which are Amazon's product ID numbers used to track listing, I was stuck with that inventory sitting in a warehouse collecting storage fees. And returns? Oh man, we'll get to that later. eBay isn't much better in this department. You still have to buy and store inventory, but now it is sitting in your garage, on your shelves, or wherever you can squeeze it. Once an order comes in, you're the one packaging, taping, and shipping. It is a grind, and a grind that doesn't really scale well. Now, when I got into Shopify using Printify as my platform, and later try Etsy print on demand, I was introduced to a completely different kind of business. One where I didn't have to buy anything upfront, no storage units, no pallets, no boxes in my living room. It felt almost too simple at first. You pick a product, upload a design, generate a mock-up, and it is live. But that simplicity came with new challenges, which I'll explain later. Now, let's talk about product listing and setup. On Amazon, it is pretty plug and play if you're selling existing products. You simply access your Amazon seller app, navigate to the listing tab, scan the product's barcode, set your quantity, and offer a competitive price. Then you choose between fulfillment by merchant or Amazon. If you select Amazon, you will ship your inventory to FBA, which is Amazon warehouses. There's no need for photos, description, or branding. But that also means you have no control. If the listing gets negative reviews or a competitor tanks the price, you're stuck. There's no way to fix it. You're just another seller on the same product trying to win the price war. Unless you create your own brand and go private label, which is a whole other investment. eBay, on the other hand, gives you more freedom. You can basically create your own listings by looking up at similar sold listing and using them as templates, which saves you time from inputting everything from scratch. You can upload your own photos, set your own prices, and control your return policy. But it is also very manual. If you're listing 50 products a week, that is hours of repetitive work. With Shopify or Etsy linked to the Printify print-on-demand platform, the entire process is digital. There's no physical products needed. Here's how it works step by step. First, you choose a product from Printify's catalog, like a t-shirt. You upload your design using Canva or even text-only quotes. You position the design, select colors and sizes. Then you create a title with relevant keywords to rank on Etsy. Printify already generates an AI-powered title title and description that you can customize. For creating professional mockups, you don't have to take pictures of the product yourself. You can use InventoryLab, which is seamlessly integrated already with Printify, offering an extensive library of t-shirt templates and lifestyle photography. When you upload your design, it automatically renders onto the mockup in real time, allowing you to visualize exactly how your product is going to look like, and you can choose from various angles, models, and settings to showcase your design in the most appealing way. Also, the platform offers dynamic video preview capability, enabling you to basically create professional-looking product demonstrations without the need of physical sample. These high-quality video assets can easily be exported and repurposed across multiple marketing channels. That is including your social media campaigns, paid advertising, and various promotional materials to effectively drive targeted traffic to your Shopify store. Now, we configure shipping settings and then set your pricing and desired profit margin. When you click on publish, your product goes live on your Shopify store. Keep in mind that you will need to create product pages, write description, and set up your storefront, which can feel daunting if you're new to building websites. So it is a trade-off between control versus convenience and automation versus customization. Now, let's get real for a second. One of the biggest things I struggle with in the early days and even nowadays, especially with Amazon, was the lack of control. Every month I felt like I was walking on eggshells. Amazon is notorious for suspending sellers' account over tiny infractions. I've had listing flagged over keywords, had shipments go missing at their warehouses, and received templated emails I didn't fully understand. It got to a point where every single time I opened Seller Central, which is their seller app, my heart would beat a little bit faster just waiting for something to go wrong. eBay provides a more balanced approach to platform control. While there are still rules and guidelines that seller must follow, and account suspension remains a possibility for serious violation, the platform offers greater flexibility and understanding. The moderation system is designed with individual sellers in mind, taking into account the challenges and limitations that small businesses face. So Etsy maintains strict platform policies and can suspend seller accounts for violation as well. While primarily designed for handmade products, they have very specific guidelines about what constitutes acceptable merchandise. Recently, the platform has been particularly vigilant about enforcing their policies regarding manufactured items, with notable scrutiny on 3D printed products. This increased moderation has led to account suspension for sellers. Understanding and adhering to Etsy's evolving policies is crucial for maintaining a successful presence on their platform. With Shopify, you're running your own website. That comes with freedom, but also with responsibility. No one is going to shut you down arbitrarily unless you do something majorly against policy. But at the same time, no one is going to bring you customers either. So it is up to you to decide. Do you want built-in traffic with platform risk, or full control with the burden of building everything yourself? Let's talk about the least glamorous part of e-commerce: returns and refunds. Amazon customers are spoiled. They expect 2-day shipping, no question asked returns, and instant refunds. I was seeing 20% return rates on some of the products. That means for every 5 orders, 1 came back damaged, open, or used. And guess what? I had to eat the cost. eBay was a bit easier because I could set stricter return policies. Some items I listed as no returns, which filter out impulse buyers. But then I'll get the occasional case open against me, and eBay usually sides with the buyer. With Printify via Shopify or Etsy, it is a different story. Since the products are made to order, most print providers don't accept returns unless there is a production defect. That's great for margins, but it also means handling more customer service. It is not hands-off. You still need to communicate, refund, and occasionally reissue orders. But it is a different kind of work. Now we're getting into the numbers. $200,000 in revenue my first year with Amazon FBA. Sounds great on paper, But after all the fees, the referral fees, storage fees, shipping costs, returns, I was actually left with around $14,000 in actual profit. That is 7% net profit margin. And the effort didn't feel proportional to the returns, especially considering the substantial time investment, significant financial risk, and the large upfront capital requirements. So the only silver lining for me was the opportunity to engage in travel hacking. It is a strategy where I use the large business purchases to accumulate significant credit card rewards points, which I could later redeem for premium travel experiences. But without this additional benefit, the pure business metrics weren't compelling enough to justify the investment and the stress involved. eBay gave me a slightly better margins, especially since I could set no return policy and avoid some Amazon-like fees. But it also requires storage and more physical labor, sourcing, packaging, shipping, so my time ROI was still questionable. Shopify and Etsy, using print on demand, operate with a fundamentally different financial model that transforms how margins work in the business. Since there's no upfront inventory investment required, every sale generates what feels like pure profit compared to the traditional retail models of Amazon and eBay. Margin structure is particularly attractive here. You can basically achieve substantial profit ranging from 30 to 50% on each sale, with even higher potential when focusing on premium, high-ticket items or custom design products. The ability to set competitive yet profitable prices combined with the zero inventory approach creates a financially efficient business model that minimizes risk while maximizing earning potential. But there's also ad spend, platform fees, and software tools, and the time it takes to generate traffic. So while you're not losing money on unsold inventory, you're spending on attention. It is just a different kind of math. Scaling is where things really separate the platforms. With Amazon, you can scale with systems, wholesale sourcing, prep centers, brand registry, sponsor ads, but it is capital intensive, and the more you want to sell, the more inventory you have to buy upfront. With Amazon, I hit a ceiling not because of demand, but because of cash flow. I couldn't keep pouring 10 to 15,000 every single month into inventory without serious risk. eBay doesn't scale easily unless you build out a warehouse or a team. It is very linear. The more you sell, the more time it takes. With Shopify or Etsy print on demand, scaling feels more digital. You create new design, test new products, launch more ads campaigns. You're not held back by inventory or physical space, but your success depends on how well you can market. In theory, it is infinitely more scalable, but in reality, you hit bottlenecks like design fatigue, ad performance plateau, and saturation. It still takes effort and creativity. E-commerce is not passive. I used to believe in the dream of setting it and forgetting it. What I found was that each platform comes with its own kind of grind. With Amazon, you're chasing restocks, monitoring returns, dealing with inventory stranded in warehouses. Even when you're not working, it feels like something could go wrong at any time. eBay felt more personal but less scalable. I was always packing, responding to messages, and driving to the post office all the time. It is great if you like that kind of day-to-day, but it adds up. Shopify gave me more freedom, but freedom without structure can be overwhelming as well. There's no finish line, no dashboard telling you what to do next. You have to set your own priorities and track your own results. I wouldn't call any of these businesses easy. So here's the big question. What is the best place to start? Honestly, it depends on your goals, budget, and time. If you have some capital, enjoy logistics, and don't mind very strict rules and risk, Amazon can still work. But go in knowing the risk and the stress. If you prefer hands-on side hustle and want to make cash quickly with a bit of elbow grease, eBay is straightforward and it is real tangible and you can start today. If you're more into designing, branding, and the idea of running a business online without inventory, Shopify with Printify or Etsy print on demand might be worth testing. You'll learn a lot about digital marketing, which can transfer to other ventures later you're on. None of them are perfect, they just suit different people. If you want an in-depth tutorial on any of these platforms, let me know in the comments. I already have a video on how to get started with Shopify or Etsy print on demand, which I'll link in the description of this video. If you're building something too, I would love to hear about it. Drop a comment and subscribe to follow along.